All right, welcome back. The final ad campaign we're going to build today is called the Hot Traffic. Not to be confused with hot awareness. We have awareness at the top of funnel. We're trying to drive traffic and conversions at the bottom of the funnel. So we are going to do another video ad, and I showed it to you in video number 1 when we were creating our cold campaign. I've chosen to go with a fairly generic video that we had in our archives from a past event. It could have just as easily been a bunch of still images or stock images or a stock video. It doesn't matter. But I pulled it into Kapwing with a K, my personal favorite, super seamless, multifunctional video editing tool. And I added in testimonial quotes on top of the video so that it's giving people, certainty before they buy and hopefully getting them to the finish line. Okay, so once again, we'll head on in, and this time, again, actually, our consideration is going to be traffic. I'm not going to do conversion. Conversion is if we're able to more distinctly track sales, and I want them to be purchasing a specific item on a specific page, but I just want them to get to a page on my website to learn more. It's not, it's a product that's big and expensive enough that people aren't going to purchase like that. It's not a $10 t-shirt or a $50 bottle of online wine for whoever's selling that. It's a several $100 program. So they need to get to my site, learn more about it, and then make their decision. So we're going to stick with traffic. Once again, we'll head on over to our simple planning board, and I will pull in the name of the campaign as I've laid it out in advance for ease of ad building. And we're going to call it Hot Traffic Testimonials Video Campaign. Easy peasy. Next up, we will, still in the campaign level, declare any special categories. No. Campaign type, good to go. We are set to bump ourselves into the ad set level. Let's go back to the ad set level. If I'm going quickly, it's because I went really slowly in the cold ads and the warm ads, and I don't want to take too much of your time. Traffic, yes, to the website. Dynamic creative, nope. We're going to supply it with one piece of creative, that one video I really believe in, but give it a few different opportunities for variations of headline and copy if we want. Our daily budget, it knows us well. It's reading my mind, $20. We're spending $50 on our cold ad daily, $30 on our warm, and $20 on our hot. We're going to start this beast tomorrow morning at 1 a.m. Just like the others. They're going to fly off the shelf, and we're going to set an end date to be the day before this particular event or program starts. I'll make that 12 p.m. on November 14th with the November 15th start date, of course. And we're getting our estimated daily reach again in terms of how many people Facebook thinks we could possibly reach with this budget, this duration, and this campaign. However, little does it know yet that we're about to add in a custom audience, and it's going to immediately erase that beautiful so-called defined reach of a whopping 28 million people. But again, I know confidently that I'm driving enough traffic to my website that I can advertise to those people. I've got to be aware of that though, and that comes from Google Analytics. If I go build a custom audience in Facebook Audience Manager that is based on pixel traffic, i.e. people to my website, and there's only 20 people a week on my website, it's not going to be a very big audience or a very powerful or effective ad campaign. So you want to make sure you know what you're doing when you're using custom audiences. And a safe bet sometimes is to combine your custom audiences, as we did in the warm ad, where we used, yes, website traffic, but we also used post engagers. So anyone who'd engaged with our Facebook or Instagram posts in the last 180 days, as well as our e-newsletter subscribers. Those were all created as audiences, and then I combined them as we were building the ad campaign. This time, we're making it a tight and bright one. So the only one I want here is, again, I'm looking in my custom audiences, not my saveds. Remember, my saves are all here, yes, but they're pretty top of funnel. There are some hot saved, and they're big kind of combined traffic and engagers. I have created some of these combined audiences and saved them as such, but we're going to create one right here, or use our existing custom audiences here, and I'm going to go with one that's called Hot Can, I believe. No, it's not liking that. Let me just see what I've got for can in my custom audiences, as in Canada. Darn it, it doesn't like that. Okay, well, that's not what I was hoping for. So instead, I'm just going to go all website traffic for the last 30 days. Remember, this is about capturing people who've expressed interest already in some of my previous social media marketing ads, i.e. part of this campaign. So we're going to go with that. If it's not big enough, it will let me know, but I'm going to try and really keep this as a hot audience. So I'm going to just change this to be 20 to 64. That might further narrow down my reach, but that's okay. Ad set may get 0 clicks. This is new messaging since the iOS and privacy updates have happened with Apple, and Facebook is just trying to cover themselves by, making us aware of the fact that, in fact, there may be this entire audience of pixel traffic or website visitors may have their ad or their privacy settings now changed and updated, and they may not be able to be targeted with this ad. I'm willing to give it a go because, again, I feel confident in the size of my audience and just how specific this campaign is going to be. Okay, next, we're able to head into the ad level, and I'm going to copy the ad name, SMM3 testimonial, video. I've got my page connected, my Instagram account connected, and I'm going to be creating an image ad, unlike the carousel or the collection that we did last time. So in this case, I will add media. Remember, if I wanted to create a video, I can do that too by taking images and turning them into a video. And this is something that you may want to play with because there are actually some kind of cool templates in here. And it's going to take anything still. A lot of us have photos, or you can go into stock and turn this into something that's actually moving, which is sort of cool. However, not this time. I'm going to add in my own video that I worked so hard to edit in Capwing for 22 minutes. So I'm going to upload it. I will head back into my October, November ad content folder, which is on my desktop, and I'm now in, I want my testes video final, as in testimonials, and I'll drop that in there. Now, as we've said in the past, a good practice is to drop your URL in as well pretty quickly so that you see how it's looking and that it's, if in fact it's going to be stealing a great deal of your copy real estate, your space for your ad copy, you want to know that off the bat. So drop that guy in there. If you want, you can add a call extension on your website if you want to include a phone number, but I like to just get people to the site where there's plenty of contact info. Next up, we're going to drop in that very lengthy piece of copy. Last time, I will remind you that we are experimenting with longer ad copy that we are pulling from our sales pages and our website because we're finding that's really working well. But if you saw my other campaigns, you'd see how tight and bright and short and sweet that copy is. So really just up to you. My only suggestion is that you write it in advance, as you've heard me say a number of times. Let's go pull in our headline. I've got 2 to choose from. So once again, I'm trying to make this hot ad set very action-oriented, create a sense of urgency and scarcity, and really get people to take action. There's headline 1. It's going to give me the option to add a second headline that it can play with and choose from depending on which one's getting more traction. Thank you, Facebook. Just make sure those are where they should be. And I'm not going to add the additional description. As you saw in ad number 1, the cold ad campaign, it wasn't necessary. I am, however, going to get rid of some of this white space that I'm seeing here by tightening up the first sentence. Don't just learn launch, and then I'll follow that, that next line right away so I can get as much in there as I possibly can before I hit the see more ... or before my copy gets cut off. We are flying. The last thing that we're going to do here is go through and check our placements and see how it's rendering on each of the various placements that we've allowed. If you recall, in the cold ad building, I determined that it would be manual placements. In this one, we let it be automatic placements, and we're saying to Facebook, fine, do your thing, put this ad wherever you can. Just get me great results. So we're seeing how it's going to appear in Facebook newsfeed. The caption is too long. Oh, I just overdid it by 2,200 characters. All right, I can shorten that. Well, I definitely want to include these bullet points on takeaways because as we know from Sales 101, takeaways and action points are really big when you're deciding if something is worthwhile for you, particularly maybe a paid program. Let's see. I'll just shorten some of these and see where we get to. Come on, Instagram. Did we get there? 2,200? Have you updated yourself yet? Let's take this guy away. If only there was a way to count it. Okay, well, I won't pain you with that any longer, but I'll come back and see if I can get it to show up on Instagram feed as well, because obviously that's an important placement for us. Facebook Marketplace, yep, looks all right. It's a little tight, but that's fine. It'll look a little different on each mobile device as well. I like the way it's appearing in Facebook video feeds. Facebook right column isn't going to work because the video is not the right shape and size. Caption is too long for Instagram Explorer. Okay, I'm getting the picture here. I need to tighten up my caption for Instagram. Let's see. It's going to show on Facebook and Instagram stories. Am I okay with that? Yeah, you know what? I do want to have some placements on stories and in vertical format. So actually, I'm okay with that. Let's just see how they do. And remember, when we go back into our ads dashboard, I'm going to be able to see the insights on what placements did the best, what headline performed the best, what gender and age demographic saw this the most and interacted with it the greatest. So from there, I iterate. Maybe I want to turn it off for the 20 to 30 year olds because they're seeing it too often and they're not doing anything with it, or vice versa on the older age demographic. So however your ads are skewing in terms of performance and where Facebook is stealing the budget and serving it up to maybe too often, either on placement or age, for example, you may want to turn some of those things off or replicate, as in duplicate the ad set and dedicate a certain amount of budget to just a certain placement because you want it to be appearing on newsfeed and it's not getting enough airtime, or you want it to be serving up to 40 to 50 year olds and it's not doing that. You get the idea. Iteration and optimization is as important as ad building. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give this the old go ahead, and then I'll come back in and shorten my caption. And then we'll see how this thing performs. And hopefully I've done my job in my hot ad by getting people to the finish line, getting them to convert, and selling some stuff. Best of luck to you. Enjoy your campaigns, aim high, and continue to practice and build and iterate as you go. See you soon.